Hi everyone, Dr. Nemechek here. As you all know, I constantly talk about inflammation and how that's a big problem, and how most of the inflammation is coming from bacterial overgrowth in the intestinal tract. And in my writings and my talk, most of the bacteria overgrowth that we have is the bacteria in the colon are now abnormally living up in the small intestine. You'll have one or two species typically out of roughly 1,000 that you have there. And that's called SIBO, Small Intestinal Bacterial Overgrowth. They're showing now that of the bacteria that overgrow, maybe 10-15% of those species actually don't come from the colon. So you have abnormal bacteria in the small intestine, like 100,000 times what you should have. And they're showing about 10 or 15% of the time it's coming from the bacteria that normally lives in your throat and your mouth. And now that's not supposed to happen, because like when you swallow saliva, there's bacteria in there. It's supposed to hit your stomach with all this stomach acid and kill them. All right? Even if you have infected food, it's supposed to kill it. And so what's happening is the picture's emerging that these potent antacids called Proton Pump Inhibitors are reducing the acid so much that when people are just swallowing saliva and just when you eat a meal, the bacteria in your mouth get on the food and pass down in there, that bacteria are able to survive and they start growing in the small intestine. And so now, what are people on proton pump inhibitors? What are those? Prilosec, Nexium, Zegrid, Prevacid, Protonix, Asifex, and Dexilant. I have a little list over here. Those are all the brand names. But basically it's drugs like Prilosec or Nexium, and most people have seen those commercials on TV. They're so potent at reducing acid for reflux that they kind of overdo it, and bacteria are now able to get through the stomach acid and get to the small intestine. So what do you do if you have reflux? Well, there's mild reflux, there's occasional reflux, and then there's really bad reflux. If you just have mild or occasional reflux, if it's just occasional, change your diet, try to lose 5-10 pounds. That usually will fix it. Use something that's not so intense, like a Tums, club soda can reduce stomach acid. The milder antihistamine antacids. So this is, I think, the only one on the market left is Pepcid. It has not been associated with the same problem of getting these bacteria in the small intestine as the proton pump inhibitors. So if you kind of just mild or intermittent reflux, I advise you not to take these proton pump inhibitors and look for other ways. Pepcid or Tums, change your diet a little bit, lose a few pounds, and that can usually take care of it. The problem is when you've got really bad reflux, and that refluxing acid can damage your esophagus, cause scarring rings in there that you have to have stretched open, and can trigger Barrett's esophagitis, which can turn into cancer. So you need, if you have bad reflux, or say you have Barrett's esophagitis, you need to continue these things for now. Now, if you can lose 20, 30, 40 pounds, often that'll just go away too. But that's hard to do, to lose that weight. I admit that. Maybe this is a scenario for getting Ozempic or one of those GLP-1 agonists. But if you're in the mild category, you really got to try to avoid getting this bacterial overgrowth, because once you get that, it's the major cause of inflammation in your body, and that inflammation is the stuff that drives heart disease, diabetes, neurological problems, a lot of cancers. It's a mess. Okay, so just a little update on that, and otherwise, everybody have a great day. Bye.